Hello students, English 1 students at Royse City High School. We are continuing our lesson on types of sentences. Today we'll be talking about complex sentences. You should already have notes on simple sentences and compound sentences. Once again, you'll want to be sure you have your interactive notebook out. If you're not all prepared, you might want to click pause until you turn to the foldable in your notebook. Now this right here is just a picture. Don't feel like you have to take notes from this slide. It's a little bit hard to read. It's just to give you an idea where things go. Once again, you'll want to put your definition, your notes about complex sentences on the outside so it's easy to see. We'll put our AWUBIS words on the inside upper flap and our sample sentences on the inside bottom flap. But all of this stuff will be in the PowerPoint, so just continue on with the video. Our complex sentences will have one independent clause, so one simple sentence, and at least one dependence clause. And you may remember from 7th grade that a dependent clause is an AWUBIS phrase. Some kids like to say AWUBIS, but to help you remember. Of course, all sentences will need to have beginning capitalization and ending punctuation. Now, a dependent clause has a subject and a verb, but it can't stand alone. So, for example, if we just said, after she noticed it was damaged, we're left wondering what happened next. After she noticed it was damaged, what? So that's what makes it dependent. It's dependent on another sentence to give the rest of the information. Using AWUBIS clauses is a great way to add details to your sentence, to combine sentences to make them more interesting. You just have to be sure that you realize they are a dependent clause. When they have the AWUBIS phrase, they can't stand alone. They're depending on that independent clause. Long list of AWUBIS words. You'll want to write these in the upper flap underneath where you just took notes on complex sentences. You'll want to come back to this periodically to remember those words. After, although, as, when, whenever, while, unless, until, before, because, if, and since. Now here's something that's different about AWUBIS words, different than the fanboys. If your AWUBIS word comes at the beginning of the sentence, then you need a comma after that dependent clause. But if your AWUBIS word is in the middle of the sentence, then you don't need a comma. So it's not like the fanboys where you want to put that comma in each time. It's dependent upon where it is in the sentence. So here's a couple of examples for you. Mr. Holt returned the Chromebook after it was damaged. So no comma here because it just adds on to the sentence. But if I say, after sleeping through her alarm, comma, Sally rushed to make it to school on time. So here it's at the end of the sentence, doesn't need a comma, but if I have it at the beginning of a sentence, it does need a comma. So just to sum things up, a complex sentence will uses transitional words to combine sentence ideas and make your writing flow better. Transitional phrases help make your writing a lot more interesting and less choppy. So be sure to include some of those in your most recent essay. We have one more video left over compound complex sentences. Have a good afternoon.